4, 3, 2, 1.
Studio Classroom is recording.
Studio Classroom. Studio Classroom.
Please stand by.
Studio Classroom is on the air.
Welcome to Studio Classroom. Your English will improve today. My name is Carolyn. Attending a friend's wedding is always a fun celebration, especially when you can do a little traveling at the same time. I saw a lot of interesting things when I went to Cape Town, South Africa to attend my friend's wedding. And that is our lesson today, South Africa, Cape Town. It was certainly a destination wedding. Now, what does that mean? That's one of the many terms we will be looking at today. We have a lot of fun things to learn, so let's get started.
South Africa, Cape Town. Wildlife. I love animals, so I was thrilled to have the opportunity to see endangered African penguins in the wild. It was also incredible to see tiny dasi in the same area. These little creatures are the closest living relative to the elephant. A destination wedding. What is a wedding if you don't have a few good stories to tell afterward? After taking 3 different planes to get from Taipei to Cape Town, my husband and I settled into a seaside cottage with several other guests from Taipei.
Hi everyone, welcome to Language Lab. 首先我们看 destination 这个名词。Destination 是指目的地或终点，例如 The final destination of this flight is Chicago. 这个航班的最后终点是芝加哥，或者是 Hawaii is a popular holiday destination. Tourists go there for sunshine, beaches, and sea life. 夏威夷是非常热门的度假胜地，观光客去那里享受阳光、海滩，还有海洋生物。课文中的 destination wedding 是指在度假胜地举行的婚礼，例如 The celeb couple's destination wedding in Bermuda cost millions of dollars. 这对名人夫妇在百慕达举行的度假婚礼花费了几百万美金。继续我们看的是 seaside 这个名词 seaside 就是指海边或海滨，都是用单数形。如果要说在海边的话，是用 at 这个介系词。例如 The restaurant at the seaside boasts great food and beautiful views. 这家海边餐厅拥有美食及美景。或者是 We started a campfire at the seaside to keep warm. 我们在海边生了萤火来取暖。Seaside 也常常放在另外一个名词前面做补语，例如 a seaside hotel 一座海边的旅馆，或者是 a seaside resort 一个海边的度假中心。
Thanks, Michelle. Now today we're continuing our lesson about Cape Town, South Africa, and this was a trip that I took with my husband Joe to attend a friend's wedding. And we're going to look at a few of the things that we did while we were there, and one thing that I love to see is wildlife. So let's look at this first paragraph in our lesson about wildlife. I love animals, so I was thrilled to have the opportunity to see endangered African penguins in the wild. Now, I've seen these penguins in the zoo before, and many zoos around the world have African penguins, but to see them in the wild was amazing.
Now, Carolyn, I wanted to ask you about this because, you know, in the pictures that I've seen, there's a lot of penguins together. It's not just 1 or 2, but you wrote that these penguins are endangered.
That's right. So there are very few places that they live. So when I saw them, there were hundreds of penguins on the beach, but this is one of the very few beaches where they live, so there aren't actually that many penguins there. And the word endangered is a really important word, and it just means that a certain species of animal or plant will soon no longer exist.
That's right. It's a pretty sad thing to think about. Okay, you can remember this word because there's that word danger in the word, right? An endangered species. So for some examples, the giant panda is an endangered species, monarch butterflies, tigers, and polar bears are on the endangered species list. You can go online and see the top 10 or top 100 endangered species. Now, there's a related word, right, Carolyn? Threatened, a threatened species. How is that different from endangered species?
Well, an endangered species is one that without immediate action, those creatures or plants will no longer exist. They will be gone forever.
Okay.
Now, a threatened species is one where the numbers are declining and it's very likely that it will become endangered in the future, but its numbers are not low enough yet to be considered endangered.
Okay, well, thanks for explaining that difference to us, friends. Now you know the difference between endangered species and some threatened species, like the koalas, I think, are a threatened species. Now we're learning about the African penguins. They certainly do look cute. It was also incredible to see tiny Dasi in the same area. Is that how you say this? Plural is Dasi as well? Singular,
I'm not
Dasi?
sure if you add an S to this word. This word is Afrikaans.
Okay.
The Afrikaans word for this little creature you can see on your screen is Dasi, and it's also called a rock hyrax or a rock badger. And they're very cute. They kind of look like little rabbits with short round ears or groundhogs, that sort of thing.
Or big rats.
Or big rats. But they're actually related to the elephant.
That's crazy.
It is really crazy because they're very tiny, but they are related to elephants and manatees.
Speaking of elephants, what is with this picture, Carolyn?
Well, that is one of the pictures I took while we were on our trip in South Africa. We went on a little safari at a park, and there was an elephant walking on the road in front of us. So we couldn't get a very good picture from a different angle. We could only get a picture from behind.
Yeah, it's not your traditional elephant photo, but I like that one. And I am still surprised that the Dasi and the elephant are related creatures. I mean, Dasi are small and they're furry. Elephants, I know they have hairs, but they just seem to be just gray skin. Big, yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about.
It is, but science tells us that they are somehow related, so it's a pretty interesting fact. Now, going to South Africa was a long trip, so it became a destination wedding for many of the guests.
Excellent. And what is a wedding if you don't have a few good stories to tell afterward? And we've heard a lot of great stories from Carolyn about Cape Town so far here on the show. And here's a good phrase. It's a question for you to know. What is something if something?
Right, and that just means that it needs to include something in order to be considered real or true. So what is a wedding if you don't have some good stories to tell?
That's right. So another way of saying that is if you went to a wedding, you better have some good stories to tell. Here's another way to use that sentence pattern. What is a vacation if you don't have time to relax? I know you want to do a lot of things, but you should also relax on a vacation.
A good point. And getting to South Africa took a while. We took 3 different planes. And my husband and I, when we arrived, we were so happy to settle into a seaside cottage with several of the other guests.
This is great, but that sounds like a long trip. 3 planes. Well, I like this phrase you used, to settle into a place. Okay, so what does that mean?
Well, it just means to become comfortable living somewhere. It could be that you settle into a new city or settle into a new house.
Right, and even if you're not staying somewhere long, you could still settle into that apartment or house. Well, Carolyn, are you winning or am I winning?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's learn about that phrase in the Info Cloud.
Welcome to InfoCloud, friends. Rex, are you winning?
I'm sorry, Joe. I don't quite understand what you mean.
Oh, let me try to rephrase it then. Rex, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. Why did you ask me if I was winning? I wasn't in a competition recently.
Are you winning is a question people ask each other in South Africa. It's used as a way to greet someone that you haven't seen for a while to ask, how are they doing?
I see. So this type of question is mostly used by South Africans. The next time I see my friends from Cape Town, I will have to ask them, are you winning? I know another term that is used in South Africa, lekker.
That's a lekker word. Lekker is simply used to express that something is good or pleasant. For example, we ate some lekker food at the wedding banquet.
That's a great example, especially since the word lekker has a Dutch origin and the original meaning is tasty or yummy.
But in South Africa, lekker can also be used to describe things other than food. I think our lesson today is lekker.
今天要跟大家介绍来自南非的问候语 Are you winning? 字面上的意思是你是否正在赢？听起来很奇怪，好像大家正在一场比赛当中。但是当南非人说 Are you winning 的时候，其实就是在问你你好吗？跟英文的 How are you doing 是一样的意思。另外一个南非人常用的单字是 lekker， 用来形容很美好的事物。lekker 这个字源自于荷兰语，原本是形容一样食物很好吃，流传到现代的南非就用来形容一样东西很美好，不一定是食物。I think our lesson today is lekker。我觉得今天的课程非常棒。这就是今天的 Info Cloud， 我们下次云端见。
Studio Classroom is on the air.
Welcome back, friends. I hope you are having a lekker time learning with us today. Today we're looking at a Cape Town wedding. South Africa, Cape Town. And a very interesting thing happened to me, my husband, the other guests as we were preparing for the wedding. It's an interesting story, so let's hear about it now.
South Africa, Cape Town. It was a blessing to wake up each morning and see the Indian Ocean just outside our door. The day of the wedding ceremony, everyone got up early to get ready. When it was time to leave, however, we were surprised to see swarms of people running past the house. The main road had been closed for a marathon. The driver that was supposed to pick us up couldn't get to the house. So we joined the runners for a quick jaunt to meet him at the closest intersection. With our wedding attire, I think we were the best dressed runners that day.
Alright， 接下来我们看的是 swarm 这个名词。Swarm 是指蜂拥或者是一大群。例如 ，a swarm of reporters waited at the airport to interview the movie star。一大群记者在机场等着要访问这位电影明星。或者是 the mountaineer was attacked by swarms of bees and was hospitalized。这位登山客被大群蜜蜂所攻击，被送到医院了。Swarm 也可以当动词，例如 sports fans swarmed into the stadium to watch the final。运动迷涌入了体育馆，要观赏这场决赛。 最后我们看的是 jaunt 这个名词 ，jaunt 是指短途的旅行或游览。例如 ，the family loves to take jaunts to their lake cabin on weekends。这家人喜欢周末时到湖边的小木屋来个轻旅行。或者是 my jaunt to Tokyo ended too soon. I wished I could stay longer. 我到东京的小旅行太快就结束了，好希望可以待久一点。Jaunt 也可以当动词，例如 The newlyweds jaunted through Italy on their honeymoon。这对新婚夫妇在蜜月时玩遍了意大利。And now let's get back to our teachers.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Now, I still have a lot that I want to share with you about my exciting trip to visit South Africa and attend my friend's wedding. So let's look at this wedding destination story here. It was a blessing to wake up each morning and see the Indian Ocean just outside the door. And that was my first time seeing the Indian Ocean. It was such a blessing. And that's a really great phrase for you to know that something is a blessing. That just means that it is a great gift.
That's right. So what is a blessing in your life, friends? It's so good for us to think about things that we're thankful for, not just around Thanksgiving time, but every day. What are you thankful for? You can count your blessings. That means you're intentional about thinking about the good things in your life. Friends are a blessing. Family is a blessing. In our lesson, you used the phrase, it was a blessing to wake up each morning and see the Indian Ocean. Could we also call that like a perk or a luxury? Maybe it wasn't something that everybody has when they go to visit Cape Town.
Sure, that is certainly true because we were outside the city. We were staying at a little beach cottage. And so it was just so wonderful. It was a benefit of knowing certain people. The groom's family helped us to find that house, and it was just really nice of them to let us stay there, and the other guests also got to stay there as well.
Oh, that is excellent. Okay, so we read on the day of the wedding ceremony. Everyone got up early to get ready. Good, everyone's excited about the wedding. And I hope you're excited about this phrase because we want to talk about it. It's a useful phrase. It is to get ready.
That is a really good phrase to know because most people do it every day. When you wake up, you need to get ready. And that simply means that you brush your teeth, brush your hair, get dressed, and prepare yourself for the day ahead. You get ready for the day.
Exactly. Now you just used the word for. Often we use the word for with this phrase. You get ready for the day, you get ready for school, you get ready for work, you get ready for church, get ready for the meeting, right? But if you just simply use the phrase to get ready, that idea is still there. That means you're getting ready for the day.
Exactly. So we got ready to go to the wedding. We were putting on our dresses and making sure we had everything we needed. And when it was time to leave, however, we were surprised to see swarms of people running past the house.
When I first read that sentence, Carolyn, I thought there was a fire somewhere. People are running past the house. But it wasn't a fire, people were in a race.
That's right, the main road had been closed for a marathon, and this is actually a picture that we took of people running in the marathon down the road past our house. And a marathon is not a short race, it's 42 kilometers. So the entire road was closed, and the driver that was supposed to pick us up couldn't get to the house.
Oh, really? Oh, that makes for a very interesting and adventurous trip to the wedding. So how did you guys get to the wedding?
Well, we joined the runners for a quick jaunt to meet him at the closest intersection. So we joined the marathon to go meet our driver at the nearest intersection, which was not nearby.
Yeah, how far away was that, Carolyn? How far were you guys running or walking or...
Oh, I think we walked 15 to 20 minutes.
Really? Wow. And you said you did that all with your wedding attire. So that is the clothes that you're wearing. Tell us a little more about that word, attire.
Well, attire does simply refer to clothing or an outfit that is being worn, and usually this is a more formal word. So we wouldn't say necessarily that, oh, his attire looks great when he's wearing blue jeans. it's usually more formal clothing.
For sure. Although sometimes I guess you just might say, I like your attire today. That means you like the way that someone is dressed. Now, something interesting about that word is that it never has an S on the end of it. Okay, I don't like your attires. It's I like your attire. And here we're learning about the wedding attire. I think we were the best dressed runners that day. I would imagine that's true.
Yes, as we're running in our wedding clothes and best dressed, this is a great phrase to know. And some people can win an award for being the best dressed in their class or at a particular event, and we were the best dressed runners. Now, I want to go now to the review skit to review our lesson for today.
What are you doing up?
I'm looking at photos of our trip. I can't sleep.
I can't sleep either. Jet lag.
But it was worth it. What a wonderful trip.
And what a wonderful wedding. I love celebrating the commitment of marriage.
Me too. Especially when the ceremony is in South Africa.
I know. When our friends invited us, it was an easy decision. Yes!
Look. Here's our seaside cottage in Cape Town. I loved waking up and seeing the ocean outside our door.
I loved exploring. The sightseeing bus tour was fabulous.
Yeah, hopping on and off the bus was fun. Here are some photos at the different points of interest.
Oh, yes, I remember this one. And that one.
Okay, here's one of my favorite places. Table Mountain.
Oh, it's a prominent feature of Cape Town's geography.
And look, here's the cable car. Remember this? Imagine a capacity of 65 people.
Imagine it slowly spinning and viewing the landscape below. Breathtaking.
But we did it.
Yes. Oh, and look at these animal photos. African penguins in the wild. Seeing them was such a great opportunity.
And look at the Dossie. They're related to the elephant.
But actually, they don't look like elephants.
No.
They look more like rats. Oh, look at these photos. Photos of the wedding day. How funny is that?
Yeah, the swarms of runners running outside our cottage and us running with them
in our wedding attire. Oh, we were definitely the best dressed runners that day.
Yeah, that was a wonderful trip.
Oh, that was a wonderful wedding.
Good night.
Going to South Africa was an amazing experience, and we've learned a lot of great words in our lesson today. One of those words was destination. It was a destination wedding, and it was certainly a destination to get to since it took such a long time. Now, do you remember any of the other words we learned? Something like Dossie or endangered? Think about what you've learned today and what destination you might go to next. And we'll see you next time, right here on Studio Classroom.
A friend endures at all times. A good friend lasts a lifetime. I am so proud to have you in my life. A good friend lasts a lifetime.